You know, when it comes to gamers and their mice, some get a little bit uncomfortably close. My precious. Those who know reality that the best way to improve your skills on the battlefield is actually a lot of painstaking practice, map memorization, along with team play in order to achieve the results that you want in FPS games. But once you have all of that, then you kind of start to think about the little small things, small and simple things that you can do that maybe will put you out ahead of the competition. One of those is to not only choose the right weapon in the game, but also the right weapon you use with your hand. Unfortunately, there's a lot of snake oil when it comes to manufacturers and the gaming mice market. Many gamers look at a stat like DPI as the final measuring statistic for whether a gaming mice is good or not. The truth is that most gamers play in about 1080p and pro gamers don't usually use more than 1800 DPI. So if you're not looking at DPI, then what stats should you be looking at? Well, a couple of them, specifically acceleration and prediction. Now, prediction can normally be switched off with software and things like that, but acceleration a lot of times is built right into the mouse. Now on to my top 5 gaming mice for 2015, starting with number 1. See, I'm not going to do that to you guys. I'm not going to start with number 5 and make you guys wait till the very end. I'm not going to do that. We're going to start with number 1, and that's the Logitech G502. I was a little skeptical when this mouse was released. There were so many mice in the past released from Logitech that were aimed to be FPS mice that had acceleration built into the mouse, but this one does not. It's the Logitech G502 with the new PixArt PMW3366DM sensor. Now, if you don't know who PixArt is, they bought out Avago, which previously made the sensors that everybody liked to use in the gaming mouse. And I didn't know if this sensor would be any good, but it is great. It's fantastic. It's accurate. It doesn't have acceleration. It doesn't have prediction. And it's just fantastic. Now it achieves 200 to 12,000 DPI without interpolation. So it's perfect for any resolution that you want to use it at. If you want to go for a mouse that's good for that 4K gaming PC that you set up, you're ready to go. That being said, it's not going to be for everyone. This mouse starts in at around 121 grams. Now, it does have weight tuning and balance tuning depending on how you want to kind of place your weights, but that'll steer a lot of people away from this gaming mouse. Now, if you kind of like your mouse a little bit heavy, this is going to be perfect for you. It's shaped a little bit like the MX518 of old, and there's a lot of people's replacements of gaming mice that they've had over the years that Logitech stopped making. Now, one thing on this mouse that I absolutely love that doesn't come on any other gaming mouse but did come on the G500 that I still have is the hyper-fast scroll wheel. Now, when you're not gaming and you're doing a lot of browsing and things like that, that scroll wheel is worth its weight in gold. It just makes everything so much faster, but you can click that on and off if it gets annoying, especially in the game, you know, when you're trying to switch between weapons and you're using that scroll wheel. You don't want that hyper-fast scroll wheel on. But overall, a fantastic mouse, and it's finally the new number 1 that overtakes number 2 on our list. Number 2 on the list is the Razer Deathadder, and this is probably the one that's going to win the user poll. It's won the user poll. I've literally had thousands and thousands and thousands of votes from gamers. I think I even got up to 50,000 one time for an article I wrote back in like 2012. And this mouse seriously takes about 60% of the votes every time I've put it up. Now with the new 2013 version, it has the Avago ADNS3988 sensor, which I would consider a superior sensor. They improved those plastic rubber grips on the side, or plastic grips that were on the side, to use the new rubber grips. And now the newer Chroma version they just came out with allows you to change the lighting of it, so you don't have to have that green Razer lighting to go with all of your other gaming stuff. You can change it to one of 16.8 million colors. The new lighting will appeal to some, but the bigger reason some choose this over the G502 is the weight and shape. At 105 grams, it's a pretty light mouse that it doesn't fatigue you, and you can use it for a long time, and that's why the Razer Deathadder definitely deserves its place right here. If you're looking for a cheaper and lighter version of number 1 on the list, let me steer you in the direction of the Logitech G402. It doesn't have quite as good of a sensor, so just keep that in mind. The AM010 still is a sensor without acceleration. DPI for it goes from 250 to 4,000. But overall, just a fantastic mouse, very ergonomic, very sleek looking, and I really like what Logitech is doing with its new series of mice coming up in 2014 and 2015. Okay, now another mouse that has to be on this list. It's the Zowie FK2 or 1. The FK2 is the exact same as the 1. It's just slightly smaller. So if you rather have a bigger mouse, then go with the 1. But really, there's hardly any difference of it at all. I think that the 1 weighs like 90 grams and the 2 weighs around 80 grams. So smaller mouse, ambidextrous mouse, and also a mouse that you can use for a variety of grips. You know, if you like to change up your grip or use some kind of hybrid grip, then this is a great little mouse to use. Another superior sensor in the Avago PMW 3310. Actually, I believe that's the PixArt sensor, but they're the same. Anyway, it's the 3310. Great mouse with no acceleration, that's lightweight. It's going to be a good option for a lot of you. Okay, last but not least is the Corsair M45, another budget mouse that doesn't have any acceleration. It has weight customization. Just a solid mouse overall. Corsair also has the M65, but that has a different laser sensor. But one cool thing I'll mention about that mouse is it does kind of have a sniping feature for it. So I've seen that be labeled as the best FPS mouse out there, the M65. But again, I'm not going to buy any mouse that has built-in acceleration. And so for me, I'll avoid the M65 to go with something even like the M45 here, which is number 5 on the list. Okay, that's it for the list, but be sure to go to my website to voice your opinion and check out this poll. As you can see, I have a lot more options on it. I've only included mice on this list that I really feel do a good job in one way or the other. That doesn't mean that they completely eliminate acceleration on every case, but I'll also put a list in the description below to 2 different forum threads where they talk about mice without acceleration. You guys can go check that out if you want other options, depending on whatever grip you have or whatever feels the most comfortable for you. Be sure to go to top10gamer.com and vote here so that I know what you think here for videos that come up in the future. Okay, that's all I have for you today, but coming up we have an unboxing of this new gaming mouse, and there's a few budget gaming mice like these on Amazon that are starting to get some pretty good popularity, so I'm actually wondering whether they're worth it or not, or whether it's all just hype. So I'm going to be doing a budget gaming mouse video coming up, so stay tuned for that. Also, a $2,000 to $2,500 PC build, which will wrap up that PC build series that we've been working on for the last 4 months. If you want to help the channel, want to help it grow, first thing you can do is press that like and subscribe button. That allows a lot more people to see this video, and it really helps me out a ton. Also, you can go to the description below and buy games from G2A.com. I use them a lot for everything but Ubisoft. Don't use them for Ubisoft games. But for the most part, you're never going to ever run into an issue with G2A, and if you do use G2A, please use my code. Also, check out my Amazon.com code in the description below. It gives a small kickback to the channel, which just allows us to bring things for you and maybe do some giveaways this year and things like that. Again, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.